Welcome back. Let's talk about Kenmore, Washington, because there's 24,000 people that live there, and it could be important to them, and it could be important to you as well. So let's just jump in, and thank you for joining me. So if you're new to my channel, I cover a lot of the areas, neighborhoods, towns, and cities outside of the Seattle city limits, because no one actually talks about your neighborhood, and I actually want to talk about your neighborhood. A lot of real estate agents just want to give you the stats for Washington or even Seattle as a whole. I want to give you individual so you have an idea of what you're working with. So Kenmore, Washington is located on the north side of Lake Washington, and it's intersected by 522. 522 connects it all the way to Seattle and Shoreline, as well as to the east side with Bothell, Woodinville, and Kirkland. Now, this area is specifically in between both the east side and the west side of the lake. And a lot of people that actually live inside Kenmore, they either commute and they work in Seattle, or they commute and they work in the tech industry on the east side of the lake, i.e. Redmond or Bellevue at Google or Salesforce or one of the bigger ones like Microsoft. So now that you have a general clue of who actually might live here, let's actually jump into the stats. So again, I said there's 24,000 people that live there, and their education level is roughly about 58%. This is on the higher side. A lot of the specialized workers and people that need some sort of tech degree actually live here. And at the same time, the median income per household is $121,000. Now, there's only 9,600 housing units inside of Kenmore, and this includes the apartments, any kind of rental, and also the single family houses. So this is a smaller town and it's a smaller segment, but as you can tell, this is a very specialized segment that lives here. Now, you might come to me and you say, hey, Victor, all that was important, but I want to buy a house in Kenmore, so let's actually talk about it. Great. If you wanted to buy a house and you came to me and you said, hey, Victor, I want to buy a house in Kenmore, Washington, I tell you right now, as of last night when I pulled these numbers, there's 17 houses on the market. The average house is $1,200,000, and it's about 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, and 2,200 square feet. Now, they've been on the market for 52 days. So I want to actually get into the numbers for this because I actually compare November sales of this year versus the previous 3 years. And I want to break that down for you so you know if this is a good deal or not. So let's go into Kenmore. So when I averaged the sizes of the houses over the last 4 years, I came out with an average of 288 square feet. Also, I went in and I took the price per square foot on all the houses, and then I put them together in an aggregator, and I came up with an aggregate per year. When I actually put that against everything, I want to actually talk to you about how much prices have changed. So you come to me and you say, hey, Victor, I want to buy a 2,088 square foot house inside of Kenmore, and it's November 2020. You would have been able to buy this house for $772,000. Now, if you would have waited just 1 year and you turn around and you're like, hey, Victor, I want to sell this house, it would be worth roughly $933,000. That's a 20% increase, and that's about $180,000, $160,000 increase, roughly. So let's say you want to hold on it for another year after that. Well, again, that house that's 2,088 square feet, and it's 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, it would be worth $1.2 million if you just held on to it for 1 more year. It increased another 32%. Now this year, November of 2023, the average house in that specific 2,088 square foot house, again, 4 beds, 3.5 bath, 2.5 bathrooms, would actually be valued at $953,000. So what this means, it's roughly lost 1 year of appreciation at the 33 something percent, and it went down 23% total. So our prices have been adjusting a little bit because, as you can tell, in the last 3 years, it's increased it's actually increased close to 60%. That's very high for an increase in this area. Now, it's actually gone down 23% this year. And again, that change in equity, just so you have a general clue, if you wanted to actually sell this house right now, it would actually be worth $281,000 less than it was worth last year. This runs into some of the issues because tax assessments are catching up. So I'm seeing tax assessments from the assessor coming back, and they're finally catching up to the values that we had a year or two ago. But now people are actually selling for less than the tax assessed value. Now, this might not make much sense, but when I look at the volume of homes sold, and again, there's only 9,600 households out in Kenmore. There was only 50 homes sold inside of November in 2020. The next year, in 2021 November, there was 40. This last year, there was 24. And then this year in November, there was again 24. So we're having less homes being sold inside of this time period. And at the same time, like I said, home values are actually going down. Now, I want to talk about the rent side of this, because if you turned around and you said, hey, Victor, I want to rent this house versus buy it, it would cost you $4,000 a month, roughly. If you were to buy this and you come with at least a $50,000 down payment and you're qualified for this, you'd be looking at about $6,300 to $7,000 a month to buy this house. Specifically, let's also talk about the mortgages. When you go into the mortgage side, you're going to need about $300,000 a month, $300,000 in a yearly income to actually purchase this house. And that's with $100,000 down. And this is just according to Google's calculator. Now, you need to talk to a mortgage specialist on that, because I'm not a mortgage specialist, but I just want to tell you where to get these resources for you. And then specifically, if you turn around and you say, hey, Victor, I want to actually sell this house right now, you're looking at about 21 days on market for the houses that are actually priced correctly. And the houses that are not priced correctly, you're now looking at 52 days on market. This might not mean a lot to you, but let's just put that into something that might relate to you. If you have a house and you bought it in 2012, and it's 2,520 square feet, your value of that house roughly is $1.149 thousand. But it's actually gone down 23% from last year. So how long is it going to take you to sell your house? And how long is it going to take you to move to your next life goal? That's very specific, but I actually wanted to give you an idea how to do that. Now, you can also use my website, victorashley.com. It'll pop up an automated valuation of your home, or you could use it just to see the available homes in your area, or you could just use it to see who's this guy talking to you on YouTube right now. I want to say thank you very much for working with me today. I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you.